Hi friends, I'm Abby and welcome back to my channel, and today we are dealing with this situation that I have going on here on my bookcase because it is too full, it is stuffed, and it is just looking a mess and needs some serious reorganisation. So this is what we're currently working with. This is the situation. Looks all relatively okay, but we have up here all of these things sitting atop the bookshelf. We have just everything just stuffed everywhere, like all of it is stuffed. There is not a free bit of room anywhere on this shelf, like nowhere. I have some ideas. Firstly, my TBR shelves down here. So the bottom two here and then this one here. What I'm thinking is we're going to double stack them. So that can free up one shelf for some of these books. And then I don't know whether I could create like a little pile that can go over here with just like a pile of books working up the side. So I can free up a bit more. Because for whatever reason, my boyfriend has decided he wanted to buy more books. So now he was perfectly like fine. He had his little shelf down here right at the bottom. That was his, double stacked nicely in his place. But then he went and bought more books. So now he's pretty much got this thing up here. I mean, how dare he suddenly be a reader? Obviously I encourage it because I want him to be a reader. But he shouldn't have to buy all the books though. It's just getting a bit ridiculous. So we're gonna have to try and find some room for his books. I think I did suggest at one point like putting them in a cupboard, but he didn't really appreciate that idea. I figure we're gonna have to do something. So I think I'm going to double stack the TBR shelves and then we will see how that like looks, because as of right now I'm ending up with books just everywhere, and I quite liked having things sort of organized in their genres, and there's just no more room on the shelves for room for genres. So we need to fix this. I need to create some room, and I don't think I can have any books to unhaul. So I'm just gonna have to create room out of no room, but it will happen. It will happen somehow. Okay, welcome to the floor. I'm going to remove all of the books here and then try and put them over here behind probably this bottom shelf, I would say. So I might end up like removing some of these so I can make sure the ones that I want to read right now are at the front and I'm not trying to like find them when I'm trying to read them. But the issue with double stacking is I don't want to forget about the books that they're behind. So, I mean, my aim at the end of this year is to have this down to 2 shelves non-double stacked anyway, and I have been working quite hard at that already so far this year. I mean, you can see that there is like space a little bit on these books, so I have been working on that and reading my physical TBR, but for now it's going to be double stacked on 2 shelves and then we get a whole new free shelf. We do. So let's get to it. Getting them off. Now I need to get them on. Oh, dearie me. You make me wanna be with somebody, doing things that I usually don't. Find my way through the roads. Okay, so the ones for the back are going to be the ones that I do not intend to read right now. The ones that are currently not on the top of the to-do list. I mean, obviously I want to read all my books, otherwise I wouldn't have them, and otherwise I would be unhauling them. There is definitely a reason for these being here. It's just the ones that are not at the top of the pile. Not at the top of the pile. Right, and I think that's going to be some of the ones that were on this shelf, because this one definitely has some of the oldest books on my TBR, which I do definitely want to read. But like The Name of the Wind, I was waiting for the never to be released 3rd book. I mean, maybe one day it'll be released. But for now, it can go to the back of the shelf, because is that 3rd book ever going to be released? My stack of the epics. The epics, the dark covers, all back there for now. And it is some of the incomplete series. well, I figure that it's better to put the paperbacks at the back because I don't think I can like double stack hardbacks. So yeah, because even with the paperbacks, the hardbacks are going to be like overflowing because they're just too. It will be too fat to have a hardback. Yeah, like that's going to be way over the edge. No, that's not going to work. It's not going to work. So it's got to be paperbacks back there.
Uptown on the road, I've been around before. Rooftops, sliding doors, just wanna know you more. I hope you wanna be with somebody.
Okay, I might start putting like the layer in front so that I know how much more I need to double stack to make this work.
And you know in the night, moonwalking, and with the view she could see her building. Try to tell her I know I feel it. Keep me floating, I'm on my back. Slow me down when I'm living fast. You make me wanna be with.
No. It's like Tetris.
Doing things that I usually don't. Find my way through the roads.
I feel like it looks messy and I don't really like it. But I guess they are all there. They are all in. I think we'll leave it at that. So they're all there and there is a tiny bit of room for anything extra that comes along. Put them on there instead. Yeah. So we will just leave it like that for now. And now I have this whole shelf. Cool. So now I need to figure out what I'm going to put on here and how I'm going to fill it. Okay, so I think I'm now going to remove my boyfriend's books from the top of the bookcase and move them and put them by the side of it. And so that all of his are sort of together on that like lower section. And then that can free up some more space on the top as well. So that's the next plan. Now you realise how tall I am if you didn't know before. I'm 5'10". Yeah, and then he also bought this like big book on like the planets and NASA and everything, and it's still in its box because he hasn't opened it. It arrived and he was so excited, and then he never opened it. And it's just still, he had it on like the table for ages, and I went, this is going to have to move. So I put it up here, and it's still just been ignored ever since it arrived. And well, now you can sort of see it again. Now it's not hidden behind more books. Okay, so that's them now all over there, and the top bit all cleared. So that's that done, and I think that looks okay. I think it looks decent enough. So now I need to figure out what to put in here. Okay, so what I'm thinking is we have this bit all up here, which is like a hodgepodge of random things. So I definitely have like sci-fi all here, but then there's like all random things on top of it, and I'm not liking that because I want my like genres to be together. But you know, I can deal with some things being up there, but it's currently just a hodgepodge of random things that I've run out of room for everywhere else, and so I'd like to organise this a bit more. This shelf here, so it has like dark academia-esque books, and then, well, because these are requiring like putting them all together, and then going into like cozy light academia, cozy reads, and then I've got my romance, and I feel as though this is looking a bit of a mess. I mean, I feel like dark academia and this sort of like cozy light academia work together, but I don't feel like the romance quite as works. And then my fantasy romance section is just a little bit overflowing with these random YA ones here because the YA shelf is full. So this is now full. I don't like having this book just like on top of these. So I need more room here. It's figuring out what I move to put down here. I've got a random sci-fi book there which just doesn't fit. Maybe I need to put sci-fi here. Maybe I move my sci-fi to here, then we move a few other things around. So it'll have to be sci-fi and something. So it's deciding what I put with my sci-fi. But I need to just end up making room on some of these like other shelves where they have just got too full of other things. So that when I do read another fantasy romance, that it can fit onto the shelf where it belongs. Sci-fi. Cool. Let's do that. Sci-fi gathering commences.
It's the middle of the night, and I forgot how
peasy, done. But now, what do I put with sci-fi? What joins it? What like matches with it? I'm thinking maybe like Robert Jackson Bennett and his stuff, and the Neil Gaiman stuff, because I feel like that could maybe fit in with the sci-fi vibe, because although it's fantasy, it has like sci-fi elements to it. So I'm thinking maybe him. And I'm also thinking maybe all of the books that I just feel are in the wrong place, like The Wolf and the Woodsman that's here. Maybe I should then take all of them off the shelves and try and like put them back in somewhere else once I've figured that out. So let's move this stack over to the sci-fi stuff, and then see what we're working with then.
I thought by now it'd be gone. Oh, that's what everybody said. I wish I knew it all along.
Okay, I'm feeling pretty happy with that. So yeah, we've got the sci-fi broken up by the one Murderbot book there. There's a bit of room here because I do have the other Ted Chiang to read, and then the Neil Gaiman, Robert Jackson Bennett stuff. Now I still have a bit of space here. What do I put here? What do I put here? What's going to fit with this speculative vibe? I do have my couple of like random sort of like thrillery books, so maybe those, because those are not fantasy. That may be the best bet, because I feel like fantasy, like, I mean, I know Robert Jackson Bennett's fantasy, but maybe I don't feel like the epic fantasy would fit, all the fantasy romance, like that's not going to fit in there. So yeah, I think I will go for like my Stuart Turton books. These books were so high up, like it was reaching for the ceiling getting for these. And now we need to review. I think I'm going to do what I said. I'm going to take all the books that I feel are in the wrong place off the shelf and rearrange them. I can just see them. They're just like glaring out at me, and see what we can do, because we now have the spot over here to fill, which is where Robert Jackson Bennett was, and then we have lots of space up top now. Like the top bit is now so much freer. So I've definitely got room up there for things. It's just organising it into like logical orders now, I think. Okay, I might take everything off this top bit now, because these books are just looking sporadic and lonely. So I think they need to just all come off, and then I can figure out where I'm going to put them back on again. Okay, and we can just leave those two Harry Potter books up there. So what else is not looking in the right place? Ninth house, ideally, I'd like to put with my dark academia books, because that's where it fits, that's where it should be. A River Enchanted. You're a very pretty cover, but I didn't like you. So I think this one's gonna have to get unhauled, which is sad, because look, it's so pretty. It's very, very pretty, but you were not loved. And as we can all see, I do not have room for books that aren't fully loved. So this is just gonna have to go somewhere else, away from me. I didn't think I'd have any to unhaul, but there we go, there's one. What else is not looking like it's in the right place? These. And also how Tower of Dawn is stressing me out being where it is. I'm trying to decide, I feel like I've had this on the like, should I unhaul for a while, because I liked this, but I read it ages ago, and I don't think I'd reread, and I would need to reread if I was going to continue on. And I think it was fun, but I don't know if I need it. We're going to put you with A River Enchanted for now. We will. Right, is there anything else? I am not liking this romance. I mean, I like how we go into the romance, but I just don't feel like this all really works. But I don't know how to make it quite work. Yeah, there's definitely things that are not cohesively in their right places in terms of the genres. They don't quite match up. Like, I think like Daughter of the Forest should probably be with like The Bear and the Nightingale, and they're just not. They're just not on the same shelves. Why is it so hard? Right, yeah, I'm gonna move this stack. V. Schwab and Sanderson don't belong together. And with Sanderson, we're gonna put James Islington. I feel like that's much better suited. And probably some of these ones that are on the floor. Yes, we're gonna do that. Okay. So let's come over here and let's figure out how we're gonna organise this shelf.
I'd run forever and again. I'd run forever and again.
Okay, I think I'm happy with that for now. And then now we need to go back over here. We do, to figure out what's going to go with these shelves. So I think what I was saying was that I wanted my sort of like fairy tale-esque books to be together. So that involves moving like Midnight Neverwood up to Brennan Nightingale up here. Maybe I'll put V. Schwab on this shelf. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do.
Let me in on your cruel game and show me how to play. You do it better, but I'll give it a shot anyway. Even if there's hell to pay, promise I won't run away. You do it better, but I'll give it a shot anyway. Tell me the heartache is.
Right. Well, I'm trying to figure out what to tackle next and where we go. I'm thinking I might move my romance up to the very top and then I have a bit more room on this shelf for dark academia stuff. So I think I just mean I'm going to move this stack here and I'll leave these sort of like cozier fantasies here.
I don't wanna let you down. It's the only thing I think about every morning. You know my life ain't figured out, but I promise if you stick around it'll never get boring. We'll spend nights, cheap red wine, look at flats even though we can't afford them.
You see, yeah, I think I'm quite liking having the romances there with the classics as well. So that's fine. So now I have this spot to fill. So much work. Right.
I don't wanna let you down. I don't wanna lose you now. Will you stay even when you wanna walk away? When times get bad, we can learn to love what we have. I don't wanna let you down.
I do need to figure out where I'm going to put Crown of Feathers in that trilogy. But I don't feel like it fits in here. It's not the right vibe. I feel like it would fit with the vibe above, but these shelves up here, this top shelf is very, very full. Unless I move my Danielle L. Jensen down towards this fantasy romance-y area, and then I could put the Crown and Feather stuff up here. Yes, I think that's a good idea. I agree, Abby. Well done.
The only one I want there at the end of my story. It's the only thing I figured out.
I feel like here I should start going to my strengths because I know that this is very full.
Cheap red wine, look at flats even though we can't afford them. I don't wanna let you down. I don't wanna lose you now. I don't wanna let you down.
I literally tested this. I literally had all these books in a pile and I put The Wolf and the Whistle on top and it fitted. Why does it now no longer fit?
Will you stay even when you wanna walk away? When times get bad, we can learn to love what we have. I don't wanna let you down.
Oh, come on. You have to fit. I've removed a whole book for you to fit in. Okay. Okay, that's that. Right. I feel like I'm done with this whole thing now.
I don't wanna let you down. I don't wanna let you down. We'll spend night.
I think we're done. I think we're here. I think we've done it. I think. Okay, so this is the product we have right now. So we do still have some books up here, but there's less. There's definitely like a whole bit of like top shelf here, which can be used again. And this isn't so high. It's not perfect, but like I am quite enjoying the way the classics and the romance look together. The other bits, they're just a little bit random over here, but it's fine. Then we're on the top shelves, we still have the YA, although I feel like it's a little bit more organised. Not too sure on the A Curse of Dark and Lonely and the Daughters of Izdihar just sat there, but that's where they can fit. I mean, Curse of Dark and Lonely definitely fits in that like genre, but I feel like it looks a bit weird just as like a random paperback where it is, but it is what it is. Then we move into like the dark academia stuff with the poppy wall, just because R.F. Kuang has to stay together. Moving into like the cozier light academia before moving into like the fantasy romance stuff. Fantasy romance continuing over here. So happy with that, I think. Then we move into epica fantasy. I'm gonna have to figure out what to do over here because obviously the Bone Shard War is coming out, so that's gonna have to move somewhere at some point because there isn't a room for the third book in here, so that's going to have to happen, along with like putting this whole shelf is going to have to change at some point when I read the third book in this series, when the third book in this comes out. Like there's lots of things that are going to have to change here. Moving over here, we have, this has stayed as is. I've added this other Juliet Marillier that I'd read, which was on the YA shelf, and put it with her before moving down here. V. Schwab has moved over here. Got Samantha Shannon, got a like hodgepodge thing here, Sarah J Maas, before moving over into Sanderson and like more epic fantasy, and then like other epic fantasy bits, which again will have to change when I read the rest of this series. Then this is the completely new shelf, which has the sci-fi on it. I'm currently reading the Blood Trials as well, so that can easily fit on there, which is perfect. And then Robert Jackson Bennett, and then like random thrillery mystery things. And then we have my boyfriend's shelf, which I've left untouched along with the cookbooks, and his like new pile over there. And then we have the TBR and all of that now combined onto these two shelves, which is where I want it to be, except my aim is to get it to two shelves, not double stacked. So I think we're now done for today. We're now done. There is bits of room which I'm liking. I mean, there should be room because I've double stacked a whole shelf, so there should definitely be room. So we have like pockets of room on quite a few of the shelves, which is going to be good because it means that I can now read books and actually have somewhere to put them instead of trying to like Tetris every time. I mean, there's definitely going to be times where I'm going to have Tetris, like definitely, but I think it's looking better. There's probably a few bits here and there that I'm still going to like move around because that's like the problem of a book nerd, is you're always moving around your shelves, like always moving around your shelves. But I think it's better. Oh, and we have two books that I think I'm going to be unhauling. So from today, we're going to be unhauling. Oh my, I don't have enough hands for this. From today, we're going to be unhauling Kingdom of Souls and A River Enchanted. So these are both going to go, I believe. So that's two books that we're freeing up. I was a little bit like uncertain about The Daughters of Izdihar because I recently read it and I liked it, but I didn't really love it. So part of me is thinking that might end up going. because it wasn't a favourite, and I don't have room for things that I don't really love because my shelves are so full. So that might end up on the chopping block at some point. So I feel like my lipstick over the whole course of this sweaty video, I feel like my makeup in general is starting to just like disintegrate off my face. It's not even like that hot here, but I feel like it's like running off. So I think we'll leave it there. Let me know your thoughts on what I have achieved here today. Probably took me longer than I thought it was going to. I thought it'd be quite quick, but then maybe it would have been even quicker if I'd like just taken everything off the shelf, because I have done that before, right? Where you like remove everything and then put it back on, instead of the way that I did it today where I sort of like move things around. But I think I'm happy with it. So there we are. I have reorganised. I feel like that has been a long time coming because I put off doing it last weekend because I was like, I just can't face it. But we have faced it together. So we'll leave it there for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my future videos. Bye.